Hello, everybody. I am Lundus01, and oh my god, I am the host of the Lundus Instructs audio podcast, and oh my god, I am so excited. I don't think I've ever been as excited for a stupid Lego, roleplay group. But we finally got some news on the VP nomination by the big guy himself. That is, of course, a con artist. So we have some major news here to announce. I know that I've been kind of talking about it on the show, and that everyone that's been remotely involved in AR has kind of seen this whole VP thing play out, and now it's this whole kind of mess. It's just everyone's predicting everything, and for some apparent reason, all the news sources, all the quote unquote real ones, are predicting me. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm just excited for the VP nomination, man. That's all I can say, is that I'm very excited to see who he's going to pick. So, with that being said, I know that there's a lot of talk right now that the news outlets are predicting the VPs. Is this going to be me? Is it going to be Savory? Is it going to be William P. Nixon? No, who knows? But, I think that it's going to be very, very fun. This is such a fun experience for me. It's been kind of keeping me on the edge of my seat for some reason. I guess it's kind of weird to say, but we finally have good news. And I'm not making this episode. This is going to be a shorter episode than usual because this is abnormal for me to make another episode unless it was, of course, with Armand Foley retiring or whatever, getting kicked out. So this will be, I guess, shorter. I should have called this episode 12 and a half maybe, because I still will be making an episode 14 tomorrow. Definitely after the VP is announced. Maybe even live. I don't know. Should I do a live podcast? If I should do a live podcast, let me know in the, I guess, comments if I haven't blocked it. So, if I should do a live podcast of me at the vice presidential nomination, let me know so that I can, do that. So, we finally have a date for the VP nomination. Of course, it's not today because sad. It can't not be today. I took the day off, or I didn't take the day off. Whatever. I quote unquote took the day off to see if he would make a nomination for VP so that I could report it as soon as possible. But of course, that's not today. It's going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be at 7:30 p.m. I suppose it's going to be at Los Angeles. I don't know where in Los Angeles. I'm assuming that's all going to be decided, but. We finally are going to get a vice presidential nomination, and that was some crazy news that just been announced. It came out of kind of nowhere, and there was no preempt to it, but I guess now we know a date, and I think that it's smart that Akon is doing it, or I guess, I don't know, he's giving us a day in advance so that we can cancel all commitments, so that we can see who he's going to pick. I know I've given my final predictions. I've said it 50 times, my final prediction. But I have some other things I'm going to give my absolute, I'm telling you this right now, this will be my absolute final prediction. This will be the last podcast I make before the big decision. So, my final prediction here. Let me give some of my explanation. So I had it confirmed today by someone that was watching, a viewer of the podcast, that it was indeed Savory Soup that ran for vice president with Akon Artist in the beginning. So that makes him a great candidate for the vice presidency. Of course, he is he was going to be the vice president unless Akon said something about it, but only because Akon said something about it. So he was going to be the one being the vice president, but, we all know the story. I've said it a million times. So, now, is he going to become the new vice president? All sources point to maybe. I think that, unfortunately, William P. Nixon might be out of this, just because he's gone offline. He's known for going offline. I think Akon Artist knows that. He doesn't want inactivity. He's trying to make this group active again, and the least he wants is someone who is not active. And unfortunately, I love William P. Nixon, but I don't think that he's going to get the nomination just because he has real life commitments. But what he is looking for is someone who's experienced, someone who knows what's going on, someone who, is active in the community. And I think he sees that, I guess, in only very few people. I think Savory Soup probably being one of them. So Savory Soup, he's a great active member of the community. I see him a lot. I talked to him a little bit, and he was a great friend in the not like friend, but he was a great acquaintance or person I could converse with in the Congress. So I think that, yeah, he's probably the best pick because I see really no one else becoming vice president. Armand, like, there at the beginning of this, I was like, there's so many choices to choose from. There's like this guy and that guy and that guy and this guy. But in all honesty, all of them in the past few days have just fallen off the map. Is that, we don't know exactly who's going to be the vice president. At first it was Chief Palpatine. Okay, no, he became speaker. He literally just became speaker. He can't be vice president. Okay, then Armand Foley. No, he lost speaker. He retired from chairman of the Federalists. He's faded into irrelevancy. Where he's just making angry rants on LABC, I guess. Not that I have a stake in that at all. I know that's like another thing. There's like this whole fake news wave that's going across America ever since LABC started publishing, I guess, some negative articles about the New Pluralist Party, which is doing very well right now. It's succeeding, and people are seeming to like it, judging on polls. So yeah. But anyway, so God, I mean, it's just so much. So Armand Foley, he's faded into obscurity. So I don't think he's gonna get the nomination. I mean, I don't know. I think that he's just too obscure now. I think that Armand, again, what I said with Akon is that Akon wants someone who's active, someone that participates in the community, someone who's here, who knows all what there is to know. So Armand was, I guess Armand never really was that kind of guy in Akon's eyes, right? Armand is, he was a fine Speaker of the House in his own right? But a lot of people seem to blame him with the House's inactivity. So, why would you want someone who's blamed for one of the biggest inactivity sprees, or I guess whatever you could say, like inactivity eras of the House? No, can't find a better word for it, but why would you make that guy your vice president? I don't think that's a great idea. So I think that Armand Foley's officially off the table. I don't know. It's possible. Who else did I say? I mean, that was pretty much the only contention. It was Savory Soup as well. But anyone else just seems to be so far off from a con artist, either does not have any sort of connection, or is just too important to his cabinet, I guess. I mean, like, you could say, like, he's not going to choose a random senator unless it was William P. Nixon. But William P. Nixon, of course, he's out because he's also faded into obscurity, right? He's inactive. I already said this. But, who else is he going to pick that's a senator that's in the Senate right now that, he can relate with, or that he has any sort of ties to? So there you go. Let me go down the list here. So like Solidator, or Andrew Rossi. I supported him in the last Senate election. He's a senator right now, I believe. I'm not sure, but what connection does he have to Akon Artist? I don't think that Akon Artist is looking for him. I mean, Maurice 2050, guy I knew for a while. He's a representative. He's not going to be anything big. Like, there's other people here that just are either too far away from Akon or are just too obscure to really put into power. BT2385. Now, this guy kind of rose to the scene in the last House election, and he's risen up the ranks. I think he's I don't think he's in the cabinet. I think he's just a deputy White House chief of staff. But he could be the pick. Really, you don't know. And Akon is being so frustratingly obscure about this that every time I come into his DMs hinting something or like saying, can you like tell me the no. He's either just ghosts me or says no. So your guess is as good as mine. So I think it's respectable for him to do, because I'm sure he gets 50 million DMs a day saying, hey, can you leak the VP pick? Am I the VP? So no. So I think that he's doing a great job with that, and I'm glad that he hasn't succumbed to that. So I say, Akoners, even though we're really anxious about this, I'm glad that you're doing your job and that you're making this a fun experience for all of us, because I've never had the most fun in AR since the days of MSNBC, but that's long past. So moving on from the vice presidency, so I'm just too clouded. I don't think that there's really anyone. I think that the vice presidential pick is either going to come from congressional leadership or his cabinet. That's it. I mean, you could see the White House chief of staff, Lion Claw, become vice president. I'll tell you this to Akon, I really do not want that to happen. Like, with a passion, I do not want that to happen. Whatever else cabinet positions are available. I mean, the Secretary of Treasury, don't want to say that. I'm not even the Secretary of Treasury yet. I'm the acting Secretary of Treasury, so technically speaking, I'm not even in his cabinet, but I also am in his cabinet. That's the only other important position. The state director is doing his own thing. I'll get to some news on the state in a little bit. And besides that, I mean, what else? So, I'm really, here's what I'm thinking. Here's my mindset. I'm thinking that either Akon's gonna pick someone who's very, just pronounced in the community, like someone who's very popular, someone who has a lot of social backing, or someone completely random. Like, he's gonna pick fucking some Arthur Chen as his vice president. I mean, that could happen, but I don't think so. Or like something like that. I don't know. No one knows for sure. It's gonna be a wild ride to see this happen. Another name that's been kind of thrown out recently is Trey Namikos. Personally, I think that'd be great, but I don't think that he's gonna be the vice presidential pick, just for a multitude of different reasons. I don't think he'd even accept it. I think that he's already in the House right now. He says that he wants to stay there and he wants to try to increase pluralist support in the House. So I don't think that he's gonna get the pick either. But moving on, a new MSNBC is starting to rise up. Of course, MSNBC is dead. Unfortunately, I don't think Michael will be returning. And Parker Jackson, I don't think he's interested anymore. So it's very sad to see. I mean, I'm sure Parker Jackson is interested, but I think that he's just, Michael Smith was the editor. He's off doing his own thing right now with, I think, Real Life News. So, this CBS is sort of trying to scrape up some guys and make a kind of new MSNBC. They're looking for an editor so that they can have a sort of similar MSNBC. They even offered me a show on there. So I think that if we can get sort of an NBCSN presence, like something that was even half as popular or half as exciting as MSNBC in the community, that will really boost activity. I'm glad that Peeps Fan is kind of doing this. But moving on from that. One final thing I want to mention before I end this scene, even though I said this would be a shorter episode, I think it's going to run to normal length. Akon just gave me some... I know I was just praising him for not leaking anything or giving exclusive intel to anyone, but he did give me exclusive intel, not on the vice presidential pick, but on something else. Remember when I mentioned the Department of State and how I would get back to them? Well, we have officially... I'm going to leak this as of this broadcast 52 minutes before it will be announced that we have officially joined a new UN. Akon just told me that in DMs. He gave me an exclusive leak. So, again, I have no idea what that means. I don't know what UN we're joining. I don't know what the whole parameter is, what the popularity is, what's going on with that. But the news is we've joined the UN, so that is something great that's happening that might get some more people into our community. We'll see what happens with that. So, what are the benefits of a new UN, you could ask? Well, I mean, we want to be, as a nation, we want to be independent, right? We want to make sure that we're doing what's best for us. We don't want to be burdened with having to prop up other nations and provide financial support to them. And of course, Secretary of Treasury, that's kind of going to be my job in a little while if, other things do not happen, wink, wink. So I think that, it's going to be good to join the UN. We don't want to prop up anything that we don't have to prop up, but, the benefits of joining a community is that, sure, you have to, contribute to the community, but if the community gets popular enough through other community groups, it's kind of like a stock index, I like to think, right? Instead of investing in Tesla, or instead of investing in a single stock, you invest in an index, like you're investing in all these different groups, and if one of them succeeds, you succeed. And I think that's what my view on a community is that, if the community gets big, if one of the groups in the community gets big, that will, of course, attract members to other members of the other parts of the community. So it's a win-win scenario. Either we're going to get big, and then other communities are going to thrive, or other communities are going to thrive, and then we're going to thrive. So I'm glad that Akon Artist has been able to do that. That's, again, a very good thing that he's been able to accomplish. I am very swiftly, very hastily raising my letter grade to Akon Artist. I would say now he's a B B plus president, maybe even A minus. I'm gonna say he's an A minus president. That's fucking incredible. That's almost better than Bernard. I think that Akon is starting to pick up the pace. I will give him an A plus if I can see activity going again. But I think that what he's doing is great. I'm very happy with Akon artists right now. So that's all I have to say for this episode. I will see you. Again, leave your opinion in the comments below, or I guess I'll make a poll on my Discord. What you want to see, if you want me to maybe either go live to the VP nomination, or maybe just go there in person and record. Whatever you want to see, maybe just record the podcast there. But expect not only probably 2 episodes tomorrow, maybe one of me getting my initial raw reaction to the VP, and then me a few minutes or a few hours after recording another episode of just breaking down what we will see now with the new VP nominated. So with that being said, I hope you have a great weekend. We're at Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, so make sure you stick in there, hang in there, do whatever you got to do to survive. But at least with this VP nomination, there's something to look forward to tomorrow. So I thank you all very much for watching. Stay safe. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend when it gets here. Good night.